Good morning, my name is Bill, and I wanted to bring back a recipe that I would make when I lived in the north, where food's a little more boring, but doesn't mean it doesn't taste great. This is stuffed flounder. You can use other fish, halibut, cod, whatever, but you just want to make sure they're thin fillets. They've got to be fresh so you can roll the stuffing into them. And we'll get to that when I'm ready to get everything thrown together. But first what I got to do is the stuffing part. So this is what I think kind of makes it. I've got 6 tablespoons, that's a nice amount of butter, in here. I'm just waiting for it to finish melting. I don't want to brown it, burn it, just want to get it just till it's starting to get a little happy. And it's getting hot. And what I've got here is the equivalent, because in the north we get these small cooking onions, which are pretty strong. I didn't know what a Vidalia onion was, or not a good sweet onion, until I moved south. But this is the equivalent of like a normal medium cooking onion is, or about half of a sweet onion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in here. I'm just going to get this to sizzle for a minute. So there's a lot of cultural differences between cooking in the north and cooking down here, plus the difference in generations. My mom was a good cook, but nothing was really exciting or thrilling. So it's kind of fun to make a little twist, but still keep the basics. Just to get this softened up a little bit. The butter's actually hot. And the onion's chopped pretty fine so that it'll kind of blend in with everything. And it was kind of interesting to think about how to do this recipe, because one of the differences that when I was young and didn't really know what I was doing, I used a lot of cheap aluminum pans, and they lose their heat instantly. This pan's not going to lose its heat, and that's part of the process here that we got to be careful with. So I want to make sure I don't get it too hot to begin with. Just want to get this a little soft. Don't have to get it all burned, or we don't, or cooked, because everything's gonna bake together. All right. So as simple as that, the onion's just getting a little translucent now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the heat, and we're gonna continue to stir it. Because I want to get it to cool down. It's going to cool fairly quickly because I really didn't get it that hot. So while I'm waiting for it to cool down, I can add some flavoring. A little black pepper. Pepper's a staple in any diet. And you're going to think this is strange, but I found that I like to put a little nutmeg in here just for flavor. So I'm just going to be very careful. And I just want to get a little dash in there. So there's a myth that nutmeg is sweet. Nutmeg is not sweet. Whenever you cook with nutmeg in something that you make sweet, you put a whole lot of sugar in to make it sweet. It's like cinnamon. Cinnamon is not sweet by itself. Just want this to mix together. Need one of those infrared thermometers so I can scan this and make sure it's nice and cool. Okay. Still feels pretty toasty. That's cool. All right. Still holding some heat. So what I'm going to do is I want this to sit for a minute longer. Get it off the heat. And I've got a pan here that has 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to make a little sauce to put on it. And this is really simple. This is basic stuff. I'll just keep an eye on what we're doing over there. So I'm going to make my standard roux. 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour. This thing gets hot nice and quick. Piece of butter. If you ever need butter to melt quickly, you can always cut it in small pieces where you put the heat on it and just mix it around. Sight all those atoms. Okay. Alright. Nice and hot. Got my 3 tablespoons of flour. Now we can turn it down. So remember, we don't want to taste like raw flour. So we're going to do the old 1 minute of whipping. So it tastes like a real roux. So I need a cup of liquid. You can use water. I had some leftover vegetable stock. You can use just about anything you want. Just keep whisking away. Staying nice and smooth. My workout for the day. This is really the basis to everything. If you just practice doing this, making roux, you can make anything. I mean, cream soups, you name it. Gravies, all comes from the same place. I've been very careful with my seasoning here because remember, I keep it pretty basic because hopefully the fish that you get, like the fish that I got, is real nice and fresh, so we don't want to cover it. It's like putting game on steak sauce on steak. Alright, so for the seafood part of it, you've probably never noticed this, but in the store they make clam juice. I need 8 ounces, so it was a cup of water, broth, or whatever, and now I'm going to put in a cup of clam juice. It used to be kind of a specialty thing, a store thing, and now every store has it. And this is just going to give it kind of that salty flavor. That's room temperature, so I'm not trying to compensate for that. Just want to keep this nice and hot. And this is not a gravy. I don't want this thick. I just want this to add a little flavor so that when I take the stuffed flounder out of the oven, I can pour just a little bit on this. I wasn't exactly sure how to cut the quantity down, especially because this comes in 8 ounces and I don't think I'd have another use for it. But I could have used this exact same recipe and made probably dinner for 4 to 6 people. Let me tell you, the cost of fish these days, I would rather feed them steak. But sometimes it's fun, just splurge, special occasion. All those things, all those holidays that come and go. So it is important when you know what's in season, especially in the seafood department. Give it a try. I just want to get this back up to a little bit of a boil. So you can see some little bit of bubbles. So this has a really good consistency, more like what I think a cream soup should be, not like a can of soup or most soups that you buy that have a huge amount of flour. You want it to be much thicker than that. Alright, so once again, we don't have a whole lot of flavor in here. I think the stock really helps. If I have it in the fridge, I always add it. I could have cut it half and half, just as long as I end up with 2 cups of liquid to cut this roux down. Pretty toasty in here. So, last but not least, it's good seafood, I want a little lemon juice. So that is what we're going to do. So I want to I squeezed the whole lemon. I really don't want about half of it. Oh yeah. I can just tell already that it changed the whole flavoring of this. It's perfect. Just a splash more. I love citrus. I really think citrus is a great flavor. Alright. So, turn this off. You want to stir it. Making such a mess today. Stir it till it's a little cooler. Take it off the heat. Once this is done, just has a nice little thickness to it. Smells great. I'm just gonna leave my whisk in here so I can reach over here softly and give that a little stir. And we're gonna go back to this. And let's see here. Should I put that half on the heat? I really don't need any more heat. So, now, the onions, you can tell, they've all really softened. I'm going to dump in, I got a 1/4 cup of just plain breadcrumbs. You could use panko, whatever you have in the cupboard. You could probably even get away with all you have is Italian breadcrumbs. So be it. Not sure that's the route I would go, but hey, sometimes you gotta experiment. And I have a cup of really great, this is lump crab meat. Put it in here. Get this broken down. I don't want to break it into a million pieces. So I get it mixed in here. It's really fresh crab meat, so it really smells good. I'm going to crack an egg in here. Like, what's in the egg? The egg is just the binder. So when we bake this in the fish, it's all going to stick together. So I'm not cooking the egg right now, I'm just making a binder out of it. That's why I want to make sure that it wasn't hot. The pan wasn't hot. Last but not least, I have half a cup of sour cream, just to give it this insane richness. Probably because, you know, where I came from, that's probably the only tart thing we have in the fridge. Now you're going, well, what the heck? How are we going to make this all work out? I'll show you. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to get the fish out. I got to make room for it, so I'll be back in a minute. We got to get the oven up to temperature. See you in a minute. Alright, so these fish fillets are pretty thin. They're always thicker on the front side. So what I did do, I've already got one done. I wanted to get that out of the way so I can demonstrate. Is I simply took my boning knife and got it cut under here. I made this thinner so that now I can do is place it here this will allow it to wrap. Now when you're wrapping these up, if you need to, these are just bamboo skewers like you use for grilling. I like the oven's at temperature. Instead of trying to do this with toothpicks, just break these down and use what you need. The first one went really well, so hopefully this one will too. So I'm basically going to take the stuffing, like good crab meat. And yes, there is going to be a little left over. Maybe. This is like a stuffed flounder for two. And all I want to do is I want to get this fish. Yeah, too much of this one. That's okay. And I'm going to put it right in here. This is just a glass baking dish. Paper so you can see it. So that's how it ended up looking like. It's really simple, and it's going to go in a really hot 400-degree oven. It's only going to take about 10-15 minutes. Just keep checking it. Don't want to ruin it. So I'm going to get my hands washed up, and I want to put it in the oven. I'm going to see you back as soon as it's ready to come out. Alright, so believe it or not, because as big as this fish was, I cooked it for about 16-18 minutes. I'm just waiting for the fish to look really cooked, but not overcooked. And the stuffing is what helps keep it moist. So it's really looks good. These pieces are huge. I probably should use my grill tool to dish it up, but I think I can do okay with it. I still got my sauce there. Let's see how talented I really am. Once again, I know I say this all the time, but I wish we had smell-o-vision. Okay. It's really nice about doing something like this. I love family-style kind of cooking. I would actually, stuffing is to die for. I would actually be willing to set this down on this plate in front of my wife and we could share it. It's definitely enough to share. I love doing things kind of family style, pass the dish kind of thing. So. Remember, I got this sauce, it's just a little bit of citrus in here. And I just want to drizzle some of it. Not drowning it, I just want a little fresh drizzle on there. You can always add more later if you want it. Basically, that is all there is to it. This is beautiful. Great way to cook fish. You're going to taste the fish, you're going to taste the crab meat. Nothing's drowned by any odd flavors, and this is just beautiful. I hope you try it. Please subscribe. I'm running low on subscriptions here, and enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.